Soraci.
How you doing? Good? You know, for a continent, it's always cold and flu season. I'm originally from Bad Beach, Brooklyn. It's a very tough neighborhood. It's full of Sicilian wise guys. You know, they're all mobbed up, my friends. Here's my impersonation of my wise guy friends from Brooklyn on Skype. Vinny, Sal, come say hello to Jod. He's in California. Now he's got to visualize this. They're both wearing sunglasses and covering their faces as they dip in and out of the camera. Hey, how you doing? Are you recording this? Is this thing recording? What is this thing? Is it recording? That was the extent of that conversation. My father, he was a very proud, hard-working Sicilian. He hated the mob. He said, stay away from them criminals. They're nothing but wise guys. They're nothing but gangsters. I want you to be proud of being Sicilian for all of the positive things. But then he took me to my Uncle Nicky Shades and Jack the Ripper's house, and the garages were full of brand new televisions. And he says, grab the other end of that TV. So I started to become very conflicted. I said, Dad, I'm confused. Are we or aren't we? He says, we're not, they are. Now shut up and grab the other end of that television. So apparently my father hated the mob, but never said no to a free TV. My name's Jod Soraci. Soraci, very Sicilian, right? Jod, J-O-D, not even close. I said, Dad, how come everywhere I go it's Vinny, Tony, Vito, Jod? How am I supposed to sound tough? How come I don't have a vowel at the end of my name? He says, you're not supposed to sound tough, you're supposed to be tough. So I took the first two letters of my name, J-O, and I went through the alphabet looking for a third letter, and I stopped at D. What do you want from me? I wanted you to be unique. I wanted you to be different. I said, I think you wanted me to get beat up a lot. This is Bad Beach, Brooklyn. It's a tough neighborhood. I felt like a boy named Sue. I'm severely dyslexic. I saw upside down and backwards. I had to learn how to read out of a mirror. They didn't know what dyslexia was in the 60s and 70s, so after this mirror reading thing, they sent me back to general population with all the non-learning disabled kids. So when the teacher would start talking and all you kids with your regular brains would start writing your notes, I'm like, whoa, what are you writing? I don't even know what she's talking about. We didn't have hooked on phonics. It was the 70s. We had hooked on pot. There was actually an anti-marijuana song, it went like this. Pot, pot, give it a shot, you'll forget who you are and you'll be what you're not. I was like, oh, that sounded like a pro-marijuana ad to me. I wanted to forget who I was and be what I'm not. And I've been smoking ever since. My psychiatrist, he says, Jod, I'm very concerned about your short-term memory loss due to your marijuana smoking. I said, Doc, what do you think I smoke it for? I want to forget the last 10 miserable minutes of my life. That's what it's for. I'm a recovering drug addict, though. I still do drugs, I just recovered from the way I used to do them. You know, no more 3-day cocaine binges. No more cocaine at all, thank God. You know, the crazy thing about me and cocaine is I'll spend $2,000 on a weekend cocaine binge and then go grocery shopping during the week and complain about the price of steak. What, $7.95 a pound? That's ridiculous. I'm not paying these prices. But all weekend long, it was $200, $200, $200 for a drug that made me impotent and extremely paranoid. Those are some fun times. Here's the Sicilian dyslexic report card, right? On report card day, I'm at my friend Larry's house, and his father said, what'd you get in the report card? He goes, I got straight A's. Mr. Goldstein goes, Lawrence, I want you should study harder. You should get A+. I go next door, true story, my father's there waiting for me. Hey you, what did you get on your report card? I said, I got 65, straight across the board, Dad. He goes, really, what's passing? I said, 65, it's a D, but it's passing. He goes, hey, you passed, now get the hell out of here and get a job. I said, but Dad, I want to go to college. He says, yes, so go, what are you telling me for? I said, don't you got like a college fund stashed away for me, a little cash to help me out? He says, college fund, forget about it, who are you kidding? You had to bribe your way out of high school. Get the hell out of here and get a job already. So off to junior college I went. There was actually a study done on smoking pot and IQ. It says if you started smoking pot before you turned 15, by the time you turned 30, you would have lost 7 IQ points. And I'm thinking, 7? That's it? Big deal, it brings me back down to a solid 65. I'm still passing. I'm very proud of myself though, I just lost over 60 pounds. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, it's tough. I was so fat, it looked like I adopted a 3rd grader around my waist. I did this online casting thing and I wanted your measurements, you know, so I went to the tailor. And when he got to my waist, swear to God, he looked up at me and says, "Oh, senor, mucho gordo." That don't sound too good with a tape measure wrapped around your waist, trust me. So I became very concerned. I went home, I got naked, and I looked in the mirror, and I asked a simple question: would you have sex with you? And I got such a quick, "Hell no, you fat slob, you're disgusting." Look at you, you better lose some weight. Even my hooker started charging me extra. She started charging me by the pound. You may ask, why a hooker? Because for $100 a week, I have a steady sex life. $100 a week didn't even pay my ex-wife's dry cleaning bill. And we had no sex. I'm severely dyslexic, like I mentioned, so I love learning new words. I just didn't like learning the word frigid as it pertained to my extremely beautiful wife. She said she had to be high to have sex. So 3 days into a cocaine binge, she says, "I wish you could get it up." I said, "Now?" "Well, I wish you could disappear, so we're even." There was actually a study done on sex. It says if you have sex once a week, it's true, extends your life 1.5 years. If you have sex every day, it extends your life 8 years. Yeah, it's good. I did some calculating. The amount of sex I had in my last marriage, I should have been dead like 9 years ago. Even my condoms expired. Every girl I meet now, though, they want to get married. And I tell them right off the bat, "No thank you, I got 2 in the can, I'm done." And every one of them says the same exact thing. "Well, you know what they say, 3 times is a charm." I say, "No, 3 times would be stupid." And what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing and expecting a different outcome. I obviously don't got this marriage thing down. I said, "Why are you friends with your ex-wives on Facebook?" That's simple. I get to keep track of how much money I'm saving. I'm missing out on all the mandatory pleasings. You know, you got a minimum of 4 a year. Birthdays, holidays, anniversary, Valentine's Day. Forget about it. That's too many pleasings. I can't even please myself. How am I going to please someone else? It's too much pressure. Plus, I can't afford all the high maintenance fees that go along with having a full-time woman in your life, you know, because a woman's got to get her hair done, her fingernails done, her toenails done. And if you hear the word highlights or extensions, anything like that, you're in for 3 or 4, hon. Me, I got a nail clipper, a $12 a month haircut with Mary. I give her a $5 tip and I'm done. That's it, no more high maintenance woman for me. You know, I want to date a nice Taco Bell girl. You know, you go out with one of them girls, you take her to TJ Maxx, you give her $100, drop her off at TJ Maxx or Ross, she'll treat you like a king. You give a high maintenance girl $100, she's like, "What am I going to do with this? I can't even get a half a shoe." This friend of mine said, "Jod, you know, just because you're from Brooklyn, don't think you grow up so different. A neighborhood's a neighborhood." I said, "Really, Tim? Let's do a little comparison. Let me ask you this. How'd you lose your virginity?" "I lost it to my girlfriend in high school." "Okay, well, I lost mine in the backseat of a stolen Cadillac to a hooker in Coney Island. I paid her with counterfeit 20s and she gave me and my friend Tony Botts the crabs. That's a minimum of 3 felonies before first period." I said, "Let me ask you this. What'd you do with your student loan?" "Well, I bought books and paid for dorm and classes." "Okay, well, I took mine. I bought 3 ounces of cocaine. I banged it 4 times. I made 20 grand. I partied with strippers. I got my own apartment and I never bought a single book. The only class I got an A in was Fundamentals of Public Speaking. You didn't need a book. They put these topics on the board and you gave a speech about it. Martin Luther King got a C in that class." You see, Tim, I saw college as a place of higher learning. You saw college as a place of higher learning. I saw it as a place of higher clientele. And let me ask you this. Is watching Inside the American Mafia and Mobsters on the Biography Channel like watching old home movies for you? Well, it is for me. You still think we grew up the same? Yeah, I didn't think so. Here's another Brooklyn tale. It might sound cruel, but I don't care because it's true. One day my friend Crazy Joe Arcuri and Tommy Vecchi traded shoes. Don't ask me why, we're Italian. Later on that day, Tommy Vecchi gets whacked, right? So we're hanging out in the schoolyard that night, selling weed, talking about Tommy getting whacked. My friend Tony Botts yells out, "Hey, Joey, I wouldn't want to be in your shoes. Get it?" Like I said, it's a tough neighborhood. Does anyone know how a Sicilian commits suicide? We stab ourselves in the back of the head with an ice pick. 21 times. Does anyone know how a Sicilian gets divorced? Neither do I, but I know it begins with a view from the roof and then, oops. Like I said, it's a tough neighborhood. But if you're ever in Bad Beach, Brooklyn, you've got to go to Ellen B. Spumoni Gardens for the best Sicilian pizza in the world. It's life-changing, swear to God. And if he said, yeah, I'm going to give you 4 answers to any question in Brooklyn. I just gave you the first one, swear to God. Here's the other 3. Forget about it, don't worry about it, and couldn't believe. I use them in a sentence or 2. Who's counting? I failed English too, right? Forget about it, this beautiful girl. She moved into the neighborhood. I got her number. Couldn't believe. This guy says, like, Jod, how'd you get that girl's phone number? I said, don't worry about it. Hey, that's my time. I'm Jod Soraci. Thanks for coming. Follow me on It's Never Too Late on YouTube. Take care.